everything goes out the window. You have a UFC versus Bellator matchup right here. I don't care what you call it. MVP, Michael Page, he's here. He's ready to fight. And my man on the unfortunate kind of spectrum of things is a 36-year-old fighting at 170 pounds, karate stance, looking for a knockout against the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. Now, rightfully so, Holland opened up as a minus 135 favorite. You track it right now, odds have not shifted. AJ, what does that signal to you? Odds have not shifted from open here.
It signals to me, Derek, that a lot of people are unsure about what's going on right here. Like they just maybe haven't watched Bellator, and if you haven't seen Michael Venom Page, folks, shame on you because he is an excellent striker. Like Derek said, the karate stance is wild. But what I think right here, Derek, is will the shenanigans that are going to be happening in the cage, right? The talking, the gabbing, the showmanship of a Michael Venom Page. Will that be what kind of takes over? Is it the fight? Because I think that's where these odds come into play, that a lot of people don't really know how the fight's going to go down. So nothing has moved besides, Kevin Holland being the favorite. What do you think?
I'll say that I have the same concern, except not, surprisingly, not on Michael Venom Page's side, bro. I have the same concern for Kevin Holland because I see two of the biggest showboaters in the promotion currently who I could see dapping each other up the entire fight, talking to each other. Yeah, I saw that. Ooh, that was a good one, right? But that was the big mouth special. He told Kevin Holland, he told Joaquin Buckley, hey, bro, you got a booger. Wipe your booger, and then knocked him out after. Like, that's what we want. You got Michael Page kneeing a dude's skull inside and then throwing a Pokeball at him after, bro, being like, I got to catch them all doing the dance, the whole nine, right? So this is where it gets just concerning for me, man, because I think that in all stipulations, in all areas right here, I think Kevin Holland wins this matchup like 8 out of 10 times. Like, that's just my gut intuition watching film and all that. But we know Michael Page is a very precise fighter. We know Kevin Holland, though. This dude was fighting at 185, taking shots from nasty dudes and was not hardly phased. You've hardly seen the man rocked. Is this all banking on the focus of Kevin Holland here, right? Like, are you leaning towards he's going to be serious and this is the Trailblazer, or are we thinking that we're going to get a big mouth performance? I think that's where all conversations lead after we answer that question. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Derek, I definitely think Kevin Holland is going to be more of a martial artist than the talker, if you will. Like, especially with the way he fought Madalena in his last fight. I mean, he was serious and he was calm, composed. Yeah, he might have been gabbing a little bit, but the fact that he's able to read things, see things, and keep it moving and keep his emotions and his tension under control and have that energy and utilize it when it's needed and draw it back whenever he doesn't need it. That's what I'm expecting to see Kevin Holland in this fight. The big thing that worries me, man, when you're in there and a guy's talking shit to you and also you guys are punching each other in the face, that's when I could see Big Mouth really coming out and losing that focus. So I am banking heavily on Kevin Holland to remain focused, remain composed, and stay fighting like we have seen his growth in the UFC continue.
I might be a madman here, bro, but there's something about that plus 200 on Kevin Holland that I'm just like, plus 200 for the decision, for that prop for Kevin Holland, that I'm like, that is juice to the fullest right here. I just think that it's going to be a very clear, get the bigger shots in, whatever the case may be, over a Michael Page, who, if you look at his last 10, man, this dude's barely getting out of the first round. He's knocking everybody out. But how is he doing it? He's like hitting you with that precision, one-hitter-quitter type stuff that I just don't think works in this level of promotion. We just saw, and for folks who are watching this, of course, the event has definitely passed at this point, but one thing that we've definitely seen was some guys that we consider to be really high level in like Bellators, PFLs, whatnot, fight a guy that's a little bit more on their level, a little higher, highly accredited, and we see you're not quite that same animal that you were when you were fighting the Bellator prospects, which is not a problem. It's just a matter of the UFC being a different conversation. So I think that Kevin Holland wins this fight if he uses his grappling, which he should, because this dude is a phenomenal grappler in his own right. I think that this should be a very easy call. The problem that I'm having here is I just don't know how it's going to go. So I'm thinking plus 200 is something that I want to lean on personally. But could you see a split decision here happening because Kevin Holland and MVP were just over here playing touch butt in the park?
Absolutely, Derek. I like the decision. The crazy thing is, it looks like the odds makers like it as well. Plus 200 for both sides on the decision prop right here. I can see exactly them, not necessarily playing patty cake, but over there having fun, trying to outwit each other. And when you have two, well, especially in Michael Venom Page, one very dangerous striker, and Kevin Holland, a very dangerous striker in his own right, who has kind of now found himself as a more mixed martial artist. I can see this being that fight of fire versus fire, and nobody gets knocked out. Here comes a decision. It could be a split.
Over 2.5 minus 165 on this one. I like that. I say cash in on that, folks. And with that being said, the official Bloody Water podcast consensus pick, Kevin Holland, and I guess we're going by decision. So let's run it. Let's run it, baby. Let's go.